500k?
501k. I've got an adamant medhound, but dagger, and then I got a U short bow, rune plate body, 5 rune daggers, 4 runite bolts, 7 rune javelins, 24 rune darts poisoned, adamant shield, rune boots, 4 rune full helms, 12 of the grimy Redenar, 2 rune medhounds, 156 pure essence,
Jesus
fire
Christ, dude.
staff, four fire staffs, mystic gloves, adamant mace, 3 snapdragon seeds. Those are 53k apiece. 1 diamond, 4 ensouled demon heads, and a mithril kite shield. All totaling 501. I want to go see what my next task is.
Alright, that's impressive.
And I got a hard clue scroll that I haven't done yet. It's whatever. Hope it gives me some more banshees. I want to go down there and make some more money. I do know for a fact I'm gonna use my points to fucking block steel dragons. Fuck that. Not even worth it. I lost money on that mission, I think. After
Which
all
one?
the fucking death runes I had to buy. Just to fucking kill the bitches.
Which quest?
The steel dragons.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess if I was a higher level and I could just tap into something, but hitting them for 15 at a time ain't fucking doing it.
You'd know.
$14 cave slimes. Really?
Good.
No, another poisonous task. Well, thank you. Yay, I got...
Alright. Let's get some food.
Holy shit.
What?
In the Slayer rewards, you can get this thing called a rune pouch. The rune pouch has the ability to store up to 16,000 runes of 3 types. It costs 1,250 points each.
So it saves you 3 bag slots, huh?
Yeah.
It's valuable in this game.
A rollable rune that can check your task progress. It has 8 charges for teleporting players. Damn. Herb sack. The herb sack has the ability to store up to 30 of each major grimy herb. Requires 58 herbivore to use. Fuck that. Oh, you can even go in here and extend tasks. Like if I wanted...
Yeah?
If I wanted to do one creature longer.
Like the dragons?
Or like the banshees I was doing. I can extend that.
That'd be cool. Would that help you long term?
Oh, check this out. You can even do something here. Like it's called Duly Noted. Costs 200 points. The Mithril Dragons drop Mithril bars. in banknote form while killed on assignments.
Holy shit.
You can color all the math.
There's gotta be a better way to get here. Do you know of a better way to get to Mauritania than walking your happy ass to a fucking chapel?
Do you right now?
Do you know a better way to get to Mauritania than walking your happy ass to a chapel?
I have no idea where that's in at. Homeboy.
It's the place where the vampires live. Like the far right side of the map, it's all dark and shit.
Oh. I'm in a fucking cave right now. At least I've only got 14 of these. I'll just go ahead and go.
I bet there's a way to get from Port Sarim to Port Phasmatis. Because this is like a 15-minute walk through like level 60 monster infested wastelands. Oh, apparently dude at work plays this game too as a member. But he's hasn't done any crafting skill or any combat skills. He's all crafting and agility. He's got like level 1 attack, level 1 defense, level 1 strength, 1 ranged, 1 magic, level 67 agility.
Who?
Dude I work with.
I had to hop off there, Jacob.
Alright, I'll see you later.
Catch you later.
She's in a long black coat tonight, waiting for me in the downpour outside. She's singing, baby, come home, in a melody of tears, while the rhythm of the rain keeps time.
Vagrant with an unrequited love. When your passion's exaltation, then finding refuge is not enough. She was the youngest of the family and the last to be let go. When they decided they would try and make it on their own. Oh, memories, where'd you go? You momentum, and the bills were piling high. Then the smile had finally faded from the apple of their eye. And they were young and independent, and they thought they had it planned. Should have known right from the start, you can't predict the end. Oh, memories, where you go? You're all I've ever known. How I miss yesterday, and I let it fade away. Oh, memories, where you go? You're all I've ever known. How I miss yesterday, and I let it fade away. I thought of angels choking on their halos, get them drunk on rose water. See how dirty I can get them, pulling out their fragile teeth and clip their tiny wings. Anything you say can and will be held against you, so only say my name, it will be held against you. Anything you say can and will be held against you, so only say my name. If heaven's gleam brings hell's rain, then I'd trade all my tomorrows for just one yesterday. For just one yesterday. Oh, I want to teach you a lesson in the worst kind of way. Still, I'd trade all my tomorrows for just one yesterday. For just one yesterday. For just one yesterday. Letting people down is my thing, baby.
child, you would wait and watch from far away. But you always knew that you'd be the one to work while they all play. And you'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. And down will come when you have to rise above the rest and prove yourself. Your spirit never dies. Farewell, I've gone to take my throne above. But don't weep for me, 'cause this will be the labor of my love. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best. You can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You could beat the world, you could beat the war. You could talk to God, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You could be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you gon' find yourself.
Standing in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah,
and the world's gonna know your name.
yeah,
'Cause you burn with the first flame,
yeah,
and the world's gonna know your name.
yeah.
And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile. You can walk straight through hell with a smile.
You could be the hero, you could get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try?
Do it for your country, do it for your name. 'Cause there's gonna be a day when you're
Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the first flame, and the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion, be a champion, be a champion. Politicians be preachers. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the brightest flame. And the world's gonna know your name. Every other walls of the Hall of Fame. You can be the great, you can be the best. You can be the king, come hanging on your chest. You can be the hero.
just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, a smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill. Paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some of them just sing the blues. Oh, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight people. Don't stop believing. Hold on. Streetlight people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight.
Oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me. We were victims of the night. The chemical, physical, kryptonite help us to the the strobe lit space where all the guys wore chains and the thumping bass was so intense I could barely feel my face. Then I think I asked her back to my place, but that's all I recall. And when I woke up in the hall, I was alone and softly groaning, and I lost my keys and lost my phone, and I wondered what I did or said that I might soon regret. It was a night I can't remember with a girl I can't forget. Well, I was reading, watching the ceiling spin the next evening when my friends walked in, and when I asked them if they knew where I'd been, they didn't speak at first, they only grinned. You see, I'm not the type to get in fights, but that might not have been the case last night, because they heard that I had a word or two with the man who asked is she with you. And if I took it the wrong way, I guess that's not for me to say, though it seems I may have slipped up when I offered him some grooming tips, but at least that helps explain the cuts and bruises on my head from the night I can't remember with a girl I can't forget. And it's all coming back now. Don't know how to react now. Guess I'll let it go. I'm not so sure I want to know. Well, I was back at work at 9:15 when a message popped up on my screen. It said, pick me up at 8:45 and we can give it one more try. And now that I'm with her, the whole thing seems a bit absurd, though she never fails to tell the tale of the time she had to post my bail. But for giving me a second chance, I'm forever in her debt. Since the night I can't remember, she's the girl I won't ever forget.
Do I look lonely? I see the shadows on my face. People have told me I don't look the same. Maybe I lost weight. I'm playing hooky with the best of the best. Put my heart on my chest so that you can see it too. I'm walking the long road, watching the sky fall. The lace in your dress tangles my neck. How do I live the death of a bachelor? Oh, oh, letting the water fall. The death of a bachelor. Oh, oh, seems so fitting for happily ever after. Ooh, how could I ask for more? Lifetime of laughter at the expense of the death of a bachelor. I'm cutting my mind off. Feels like my heart is going to burst. Alone at a table for two, and I just wanna be served. And when you think of me, am I the best you've ever had? Share one more drink with me. Smile even though you're sad. I'm walking the long road, watching the sky fall. The lace in your dress tangles my neck. How do I live the death of a bachelor? Oh, oh, letting the water
The station you're about to play includes explicit and offensive material that may not be suitable for all listeners or children. To hear something different, you can switch to a different station. Thanks for listening.
I'm not making fun of you if you're religious. I think that's great. Any faith. Christian, Muslim, Jew, what? If you're a Scientologist, you can go fuck yourself. Because it's not old. It's gotta be old. I think it's fair to say there's sometimes I don't want to hear about it, you know? Like working out, getting high. That's a bummer, right? When there's pills and cash and tits out and someone's like, have you thought about accepting the Lord into your life? And you're like, I'm trying to make bad decisions. Why are you doing this to me? That and pre-sex, that is the worst. During sex, assalamu alaikum, anything goes. But pre-sex, like right before, and the girl's like, what if God's watching us? And you're like, what? What if God is watching us? Of course he's watching us. He sees everything, and this is hands down his favorite shit. Yeah. Quit being a baby, put another knuckle in there, and let's give him a show. Digit play, it's fun. Get into it. But
sometimes my mouth gets me in trouble. I was at a bar one night and this guy wanted to fight me, and I do not fight, but I also do not like to get punched in the back of the head. So I stood up and the guy looked at me and he goes, you probably fight like a girl. That's what he said to me. So I had sex with his best friend. Because that is how girls fight. I want to be clear, not all of you, but some of you are like that. And I think it's because some women think the vagina is the most powerful entity on the face of the earth. And I think that it would be if only a couple of you had them. But you all have them, right? And some of you are sluts, and that brings the value of the other ones down. It's simple economics, ladies and gentlemen, supply and demand. And walking around this town on a weekend, we are in a bull market. Some women use their vagina as a weapon. You've seen that, right? You want some of this? You better mow the lawn. No. Other girls live in apartments. With no lawns and vaginas. Do you see how this works? I'm not trying to be an asshole. I was trying to help. I guess what I'm saying is, ladies, don't hold your vaginas hostage, because as American men, we have been raised not to negotiate with terrorists.
The weirdest thing when I was like a kid was how much they scared us about smoking weed. They scared us about it constantly. And I've been on tour this year. Marijuana's legal in like 18 or 19 states in some form or another. It's insane. Yeah, well, all right, don't woo if you're white. It's always been legal for us. Come on, sir. We don't go to jail for marijuana, you silly Billy. When I was arrested with a one-hitter at a Rusted Root concert, I did not serve hard time. I think I got an award. 18 or 19 states. And by the way, I agree, it's a very good thing. But it's also a really weird thing. Because this is the first time I've ever seen a law change because the government is just like, fine, you know? I've never seen it before. Like gay marriage in healthcare, we have to battle it out in the Supreme Court and be like, gay people are humans, and they're like, we'll think about it. But with weed, it was just something we wanted really badly, and we kept asking them for 40 years, like, excuse me. And then suddenly the government became like cool parents, and they're just like, okay, here, take a little. We'd rather you do it in the house than go somewhere else, blah, 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 blah. Those stupid parents. And that's a big deal because they scared us about weed constantly. It would be on our sitcoms. We'd be watching Saved by the Bell. We'd be having a great old time. And then suddenly a character we had not seen before would show up with some weed and the episode would stop cold in its tracks. And they'd always hold the joint. The bad guy would hold the joint in like a villainous way. They'd always offer the joint in a way that no one ever holds a joint, like it's a skull in a Shakespeare play. And now it's legal, and that is great news. Unless you're a weed dealer, and then it is terrible news. And I don't just mean because they're about to lose out to Amazon.com. I more feel bad for weed dealers because they're about to find out that we only showed them a certain amount of politeness because they had an illegal product. And we don't show that same politeness to people who deliver legal products. Like when the Chinese food delivery guy comes, we don't let him hang out after he's delivered the Chinese food. And we don't look the other way when he says weird shit to the girls we're hanging out with to try to preserve the relationship. And we definitely don't give him some of the Chinese food. He's never like, hey, can I get in on those dumplings? And we're like, yeah, we're all friends.
I was trying to think about why I work out, like why I care about fitness. I like to lift weights. I don't care about health, though. I will say that. I don't really care about trying to get super healthy, right? Like extend your life by 10 years. Why would you want to do that? It's not going to be the good years. You get in the back end. What, you live on kale and smoothies and you get 90 to 100? Who gives a shit? It's an awful incentive. I want to have milkshakes and steak, and then I want to get the fuck off this planet. I enjoyed it. Yeah. I realized that hatred is my workout fuel. I wish it wasn't true, but just hatred of society. I like to try and get stronger, because if I can get a little bit stronger, I feel it's more realistic that I could savagely beat strangers out on the street. And that makes life more bearable and pleasant for me to live. And then I was thinking, why do I hate people so much? And ironically, it's because I was raised with decency and manners and respect. But I'm forced to live in a world where people don't care about stuff like that. I wake up in a good mood because I'm not around strangers. And I continue to be in a good mood right up until I leave my place and walk out into the world, aka the human dickhead parade, and I start to get a little angry. I start to get a little irritated. People's lack of manners. Let's talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about sidewalk etiquette for starters. What's going on the sidewalk out there? I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Anarchy. And I don't care for it. People act like there's no rules on the sidewalk. There is. It's a very simple rule. You get the right half. All right, that's how it works. The sidewalk mirrors the road. You get the right half. People coming towards you, they get their right half, and it works out. Maybe if you're in Europe, you get the left half. I don't know, and I don't care. So put your Eurotrash ass on the right side of the sidewalk, and you respect our culture. But maybe you're in a romantic situation. You're taking up the whole sidewalk. You're holding hands. That's adorable. All right? Take the whole thing. Make it yours. Until you see an innocent person coming towards you. Another pedestrian trying to live their life. All right? That's when you should have the decency to single file it. Know who's front, know who's back. Have a plan. Act on it. What you don't do is form a wall of narcissism, lock hands like you're trying to defend your tag team championship belt, and push people into the street like a savage. That's why I work out, moments like that. I'm not a huge guy. I don't even know how to fight. But I feel just big enough to stand my ground now in moments like that. 50 pounds ago, I would let those people push me into the street and just be like, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Be irritated the rest of the day. Now I stand my ground. I'm not gonna move from my half. It's my half, and I'm gonna keep it. And the person coming towards me in my half, not on their half, they don't know it, but they're playing a little game, sidewalk chicken. And I have a distinct advantage, because I'm the only one who knows that we're playing. Right? They're relaxed, they're lollygagging, all loose in the shoulder. I'm fucking tight in the shoulder. My hips are tucked and my core is engaged. I'm braced for impact. I march forward. Sometimes I walk into him. Sometimes I stumble him. One time, I knocked some guy to the ground, and it felt pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. So take your time getting up there, Chief. Think about some decency, manners while you're down there. Think about etiquette. I could turn this whole show into a hate speech about manners. The only other one I want to talk about tonight is door etiquette. Right? Doesn't it drive you crazy? It's so easy to fix. Here's how it works. When somebody opens up a door for you, you say 2 words. You say, thank you. And you say it every single time. Right? It makes this planet a lot more bearable to be on. I don't care if the person's holding the door open for you because they have to, because they work there. Say thank you. I don't care if you're on the phone. Tilt your phone. Hey, thank you. I don't care if it's that person that we all hate. All of us hate. That person who holds the door open for you, no exaggeration, a good 20 to 30 yards before you were ready to go through that door. And now you suddenly feel peer pressured into a strange workout you never wanted to be a part of. You find yourself kind of jogging to a door you were very comfortable walking towards. I don't like that, all right? I got tight hips, now they're chafed, now I'm sweaty, I'm out of breath. That guy's an idiot, but I say thank you. He's a polite idiot, and I respect that. I used to not do anything, and people wouldn't say thank you. Now I do something, I can't recommend this enough. It feels so good to give it a little bit back. When someone doesn't say thank you, here's what you do. You say a very angry, you're welcome. You're welcome! You stare at him just like that. And it feels so good because technically you're not doing anything wrong. You're saying nice words. A little too loud, but nice words. But what feels good about it is even though you're saying the words, you're welcome, that's not the 2 words they're hearing. Comes out of your mouth, you're welcome. Received by them, fuck you. Right? You're making the world a better place.
You can always tell you're in a dicey neighborhood when you see white girls with cornrows. Whoa. Who knows what I'm talking about? If you don't know, cornrows, you know Snoop Dogg? Those are cornrows, okay? If you ever see a white girl with cornrows, just know that she is down for whatever. She is bout it, all right? You don't see it a lot, but where you do see it is on prison shows. When they're like, inside Arkansas's Women's Correctional Facility, meet Trish. And she's like, they always have that slight underbite, you know that? These are my taters. And that look in their eye, that there's a song playing in my head that you can't hear right now. If you're ever out and about and you need somebody murdered and you see a white girl with cornrows, she'll fucking do it, all right? She'll do it for a hot dog and half a cigarette. She'll come back a few minutes later like, what do you want me to do now? And you'll be like, forget that you met me? Put that guy's kidney down? I don't know.
Because not a fighter, wasn't a fighter, not at all. And the problem is when you're a dude and you hang out with other dudes, every group of guys has one guy in it who is a fighter. Either he's a martial artist or an MMA guy or he's just insane. And the problem is when you're hanging out with that dude, if something really does go down, you're pretty much his date. Give me your keys and your wallet, go get them, I'll wait here. I'm gonna order you a Cabernet, I'm gonna have a Pinot Grigio. Go fight him! Every guy in here knows which guy he is, too. My buddy Tommy is that guy. My buddy Tommy, man, stunt man, second-degree black belt, he's a badass. His job is he jumps in front of cars on purpose. They run him over, he gets up, they pay him, he does it again. That's Tommy. So I get my ass kicked in the parking lot. Tommy goes, I can't be here all the time, man. And the crap you say on stage, this is gonna happen again. You need to learn to take care of yourself. What, like a gun? No. No. Idiot. I want you to start taking martial arts with me. So it was something I wanted to do since I was a little kid. I'm not bragging about it. It was a bucket list thing. I started taking martial arts. I trained for 6 years. I get to the point where I'm gonna test for the black belt. Yes. Now let's go to the epic fail. Our master was a guy named Master Kim, because they're all named Master Kim. Even the white guys. How you doing? I'm Master Kim. I think you're Master Brian. Our Master Kim, by the way, was a badass. He'd actually trained the Argentinian Olympic team to gold medals. He actually been in the country 35 years, barely spoke English, and would never use your real name. For 6 years, the man called me Comedy Boy. He called Tommy Stunter Man. So one day, about 2 weeks before this big test, he comes in. Comedy Boy, Stunter Man, come here. Big test kommer upp. Invite four grandmaster from Korea to what it is. I would like you to do a comedy stuntman. What did he say? Ah, look, comedy stuntman. Oh. What did he say? We find out after some time he wants to do a comedy stuntman demonstration. Okay, I'm a writer. I write the scene, Tommy practices, we practice for 2 weeks. Badass. Now, we're gonna start the story here. I had just passed my test. Now we're gonna head towards the mountaintop of the epic fail. Master goes, everybody go to do between adult and kid and comedy boss to the man, go! And we do this fight scene. It's pretty cool. Tommy's a great stuntman. If I just swing at him, it looks like I nailed him. It's great. At the end of it, he runs at me full speed. I put my foot in his chest, I shoot him over my head. He lands in these boxes. Place goes nuts. Parents are going crazy. Kids are going, wee! We could have stopped right there. But I had told Tommy earlier, I said, dude, when they're all clapping, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab 2 cinder blocks, we're gonna put 2 bricks across them, and then on 3, we're gonna break the bricks. And Tommy goes, cool, because he knows how to do it. So everyone's clapping, we put the bricks down, 1, 2, 3, bam! And I broke both bricks on my fucking hand. Ho, ho, ho! And I knew I did it because my inner retard was like, that was incredible! Do you realize the level of stupidity you had to get to? To put your flesh and bone through a couple of bricks, my God! You just received a dumbass black belt, too. Wow. Next time, I would center my chi. Now, I know it's broken, but I can't bitch up. There's $4 grand. I can't beg it. Oh, my hand's broken! By the way, I had just got my black belt. Now, the only thing I can use it for is to make a splint. So as cool as I can, I pick the cinder blocks up and put them in the corner. I set them down. I go stand in the corner because I'm a black belt now. That's right. I'm a badass. And I'm going to stand here and try not to pass out. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm just standing there waiting for the kids to finish, and I hear, comedy boy! Yes, master. Today you're black belt. You're going to help a kid test. I want you to hold the board for a kid to break. Yes, master. And I make my hand into this hook. I start sliding boards in. Oh, I do. The cool thing about 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old martial artists is they're accurate. Because every single one kicked me directly in the bone that was sticking out of the side of my hand. It sounded like a door stopper. Brrr, brrr. And I'm just trying not to pass out, man. Dragons are flying by. I'm hearing that music. Bing, dong, bang, ding, dong, bong. We get through that, master goes, everybody good test, I'll see you next week. I grab my bag, I head out the door, I'm going right to the emergency room, and all of a sudden I hear, comedy boy! Oh. Yes, master. Today, very impressive with your comedy, stuntman. Grandmaster, very impressed. They ask if they could shake your hand. Yes, master. And these are 4 80-year-old Mr. Miyagi touch-of-death guys. And I know that every single one of them that grabbed this hand was like, oh, that feel like a bag of Lincoln logs. But I did it. I couldn't say no. It's disrespectful. So I did. I said, ah! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I grab my bag. I go directly to the emergency room. Doctor goes, what the hell happened to you? I don't have to tell you. I'm an American. I didn't just break it, I shattered it. I have a piece of titanium from here to here. I'm part Terminator now, bitches. If I keep screwing up like this, watch out, Sky. I go back to class 2 weeks later, my hand's in a cast, and I go, Master, I want you to know what happened when I broke the brakes. I broke my hand. He goes, oh, that's why. Why what? After you leave, Grandmaster asked me why you tried to speak Korean.
Now, I know when you guys hear all the stuff you hear, you guys are like, wow, Kevin, that's messed up. It probably doesn't get any worse than that. Well, you're wrong. It does. Let me tell you the worst person in my family. The worst person in my family is my cousin Al. I'll tell you why. My cousin Al was on drugs, too. But, unlike my dad, Al found Jesus. See, but Al's one of those people that found Jesus, and now that he found Jesus, he tries to throw Jesus on everybody. You ever meet somebody like that? For no reason at all, they throw religion at you. You did nothing to deserve this conversation. No matter what you say, they bring up religion. Hey, good morning, Al. It is a good morning, because Jesus woke us up. Hello, boom. I love him. Do you? What? The fuck does that have to do with anything, man? I'm trying to play basketball. This ain't got shit to do with nothing. Al got mad at me because I live in L.A. He said, Kevin, you out here in Hollywood doing God knows what. Sex, drugs, money. Lord knows what you're into. You need to get a relationship with God. I said, dude, don't talk to me about God. I'm fine, okay? You the one who's on drugs. You get a relationship with God. He got mad. Now, anytime he get mad, he always got to bring up some dark shit from his past that nobody needs to know. Out of nowhere, he said, Kevin, let me tell you something. I know I was on drugs, but I found Jesus. Granted, I didn't know him when I was out there sucking dick for money, but I'll tell you something. I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said. I said, when was this? What year was this? He said, it was in the 80s. Everybody was doing it. This is shit that pissed me off. He said, your dad was back there with me. I said, what? My dad was like, all right. Hey, you gonna learn today? No, the fuck I'm not. You gonna keep that lesson to yourself. I told my dad to go get 1 cup and put your name on it. That is your cup. You ain't gonna drink out another goddamn glass in this house. That's it for you.
The unemployment rate in our country is around 6.5%. I'm told that's pretty good. I could care less. I wish a president would have the balls to say what I'm about to. 10% of Americans don't deserve jobs. Good night. Like, that's a number I can get my head around. Of course, there's exceptions to that. That's not who we're talking about. But if you don't think 10% of Americans are lazy pieces of shit, then you have never traveled anywhere. Because the number that blows me away is that over 90% of Americans have jobs. Who the fuck is hiring you morons? Because I wouldn't. The sense of entitlement, everyone thinks they deserve more than they have. No one's content. Young kids, I won't even talk to them anymore because you parents have done such a bang-up job. If I meet one more kid and ask him what he wants to do when he gets older, and he replies, "I want to be famous like you," I'm gonna kick him in his teeth. You're never gonna be famous. Never. You have no chance. I didn't get here because I work hard. I have a gift from God. Everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame, buddy. Excuse me? That's an average. Yeah, that's 0 for you, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 20 years, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Everybody gets 15 minutes. You know Andy Warhol was on drugs when he said that, right? He didn't think he'd be quoted for the rest of eternity, let alone taken seriously as an artist. You ever go into like a cute local cafe and an artist has their work for sale on the walls? Has anybody ever not walked up, looked at the price, and gone, who the fuck do they think they are? Just once, I'd like to walk into somebody's home and be like, wow, that is a beautiful piece. Where did you get it? And they're like, oh, funny story. I was getting a spinach wrap the other day for lunch, and I had $750 burning a hole in my pocket. And I was like, hey guys, unbolt this from your urinal and get it into my living room. You know what the unemployment rate in China is? Neither do I, because I'm American, I'm fucking stupid. It's gotta be low, right? Those people get up at 3 in the morning to practice the violin for 4.5 hours, then they work on math for 12 hours, and whatever's left, they're ninjas. If you think for 1 second we will ever catch up with them, you are out of your mind. Just sit at home and be patient until they take over. And quite frankly, they deserve our country. I go, oh shit, China's here. Do we take off our shoes? How does this work?
It's great to see you. It's great to be here. I'm excited. I did a little research. I like to learn about the cities that I go to. And I found out, I researched that Denver is actually a Danish word that means rusted meat hook. Did you know that? No. You didn't know that. You know why you didn't know that? I made that shit up. Okay? That's a lie. But I did just find out that the city that I live in, Los Angeles, is actually Spanish. Oh. It's Los Angeles. Which means the angels, hence the city of angels. Fucking fascinating. But I imagine the city was named that way when the original founders got there. The very first people arrived and they were like, oh my God, this place is so beautiful and glorious. People don't live here. Angels do. But shit has changed. And I think they should update the name of the city to fit where it is today. I think they should change it to Los Ángeles se cansaron, así que es una ciudad llena de putas y ladrones y salvajes. Y en cualquier momento alguien te puede matar. Which translates to the angels are tired. So now it's a city full of whores and thieves and savages, and at any moment somebody might fucking kill you. Yeah. Plus, it's got a nice ring to it. You know, that's a nice name for a city. I have the good fortune of living in downtown Los Angeles, and if you're not familiar with downtown LA, it is exactly like wherever you live. If wherever you live is jail. It's the only place I've ever used the expression, you know you're bleeding, right? You didn't know that? Look down, that's a lot of blood. A lot of needles, no sewing factory. Who's with me? Anybody?
Your opinion doesn't matter in elementary school either. It matters in college. College is just your opinion. Just you raising your hand and being like, I think Emily Dickinson's a lesbian. And they're like, partial credit. And that's like a whole thing. But in elementary school, it doesn't matter what you think. It just matters what you know. You have to have answers to questions. And if you say, I don't know, you get an X on your test and you get it wrong. And that's not fair, because your brain has never been smaller. Also, that's not how life works. Like, I'm in my 30s now. If you came to me now and you were like, hey, John, name 3 things that the Stamp Act of 1775 accomplished, I'd go, I don't know, get out of my apartment, you know? But when you're a little kid, you can't say, I don't know. You should be able to. That should be an acceptable answer on a test. You should be able to write in, I don't know. I know you told me. But I have had a very long day. I am very small. And I have no money. So you can imagine the kind of stress that I am under. Or if it's one of those true or false questions, you should be able to add a third option, which is, who's to say?
You know what I would do without my wife? I would raise my kids to be at least this old, because I've done it. I've gotten a human being to this age. I would do it 2 more times and retire. Parenting isn't that hard when you boil it down. People read books to parent. That confuses me, because we used to live in caves. And now we're here. We got out without books. It doesn't make any sense, because you're raising a person, right? You're a human raising a smaller human. You've been through whatever they're going through. You should know how to, you just cut out the shit that you did.
Old RuneScape guides, and I thought I'd just show you how exactly you can actually know. Get a house and don't know how to do Palador, and you want to talk to the estate agent. He'll say,
Right? And you get them through their life. Like, my daughter's 9 years old. I know that's when girls start getting real bitchy at school. Right? 9 years old is about the time. 3rd, 4th grade, when they start locking elbows, walking down the halls. You don't have new shoes? Fuck you, slut. Don't care. Not in our group. You don't have a unicorn on your folder? Fucking hope you have friends to sit with at lunch, because it's not us, piece of shit. Because girls are real bitchy. And then you just... Then you get married and don't help carry salt downstairs. That's how it works. My son's 14. I know that he's probably going to have to go up in front of his class to speak at one point, so bring some duct tape in case you got to tape that dick down to your leg. I know that. Because you don't want to get a boner in front of your class. You don't. That's a fact. I've been there. I can help with that. Because I'm a human being. I've never been a turtle. If a turtle comes to my house, I'm going to need a book. Fuck, because I don't know what they eat. And I don't know how to coax them out of their shell. That's different, though, because I'm not a turtle, you know? People are so dumb. I hear people all the time, I could never have kids. I can't even keep a plant alive. Well, you're not a goddamn plant. You don't have to know how photosynthesis works to keep a child alive, right? You just make your food and cut it smaller. It's so simple when you boil it down. You cut up a steak and put it in a plant, fucking you got a dead plant on your hands. That's a fact. You give it to a child, they're gonna thrive and learn and grow and get stronger. It's just so weird. I don't know how to raise a kid. When you get thirsty, fucking make sure they drink a little water. That's about... It's just so easy. I don't understand where all the dumb shit comes from.
Whatever, the kids are happy. They love their mom and stepdad. They love me and their stepmom. My wife, Lindsay, she's a good stepmom. She's funny. She's a deal maker with the kids. She's always making them deals. My favorite deal so far was with Kyler. It was just Lindsay, Kyler, and I on this mountain above where I grew up. We're going up there, just the 3 of us climbing, and all of a sudden she just turns to him and she's like, I'll make you a deal, Kyler. She's like, you know what, when you're out in nature with us, no one else is around, you can say whatever you want. You can use any word you want, talk about any subject, and you won't get in trouble. And she told me later that she did that so he trusts us. So when he's older, he shares more important things. And apparently, building trust starts with profanity. I didn't know that. And I asked him if he ever cursed before. You know, and he's an honest kid. And he's like, no. And then I got excited. I'm like, I get to hear my son's first swear word. That's a big moment in a boy's life. I was like, how's he going to do it, you know? Is he going to ease into it? Make sure the deal's good before he goes bananas? And I just say, hey, Dad, this mountain's really kicking my bottom. It's kicking the bottom of my butt. It's
kicking the bottom of my fucking butthole. I'm like, whoa! Whoa, easy, buddy. That is not how you do it. That is way too specific. That's a powerful visual you're pushing on people. Turns out he didn't do anything for like half an hour. I didn't think he was going to. And then when he finally swore, I realized he was waiting for context. He didn't want to just do it, you know? He wanted it to be relevant to what was happening in his life. When he went for it, he went real big. He skipped all the little ones. He went to the top, pretty much. And I wasn't upset, because he used it, appropriately. It was the right word for the situation. He was getting really frustrated climbing, kept slipping in the dirt. It was real sandy and loose. He tried to jump from one little rock outcropping to another. He slipped. He smashed his toes, did like a half face plant to the side of the hill. I saw the whole thing. It was funny. It was a good fall. And on the way down, in between foot and face, he let one perfectly timed swear word rip to the silence of nature. It was beautiful. It felt like it echoed in the canyon. He just smashed his toes, and on the way down, he just goes, "Oh, motherfucker!" I was like, yeah, good job, buddy. Unexpected pain. That's exactly what that word's for. I would have been disappointed if you'd have done that and yelled like, frick or crap. Come on, dude. That's the kind of stuff you yell if you're homeschooled or Amish or something else weird. That's the kind of stuff you yell if you're churning butter and the butter's not churning to your satisfaction. Just, oh, freak, Nathaniel Adaya. You tell Ezekiel Adaya there'll be no fresh butter this morning. I have no idea if that's how Amish people talk. That's probably very patronizing. My sole reference for their culture is Randy Quaid's performance in Kingpin. That's all I know about them. I do like to pretend for my own amusement that they end every first name with Adaya, because that makes very funny dinner conversations in my mind. Hello, brother Randy Adaya. Well, hello, sister Michelle Adaya. Good to see you. And how is brother Benadiah Adaya? You do too, if it's a junior. Ever since that day out in nature, now when Kyler's not out, climbing or whatever with us, but he feels like he has a curse word to add to the conversation, he started to ask my new favorite question. He gets very serious about it every time. Gets the same look on his face. He'll like, Dad, permission to swear? I love how formal it is. Makes me feel like the king of profanity. Yes, the king would like to hear some coarse language. Perhaps a shite or a bastard would amuse that crown. Proceed with your filth. Henceforth. My favorite example of him cursing is him and his sister in the back seat. This is a while back. We were still living down in LA. And they had their headphones on, watching the DVD in the back seat. And so I don't think they can hear what I'm doing. And I pull up to my place, and I noticed someone parked in my driveway. And I knew why they did it. Street parking was full for like blocks. They gambled. They wanted to save themselves a walk, hope the person wouldn't come home before they had to leave. But I did come home, and I have nowhere else to park but my own driveway. And so I'm irritated, and then I start saying the kind of things you say when you're angry in a car and you don't think anyone else can hear you. And I'm just kind of talking to myself in the front. It's like, you son of a bitch. Oh, you just couldn't find a spot, so you take my spot, okay? Save yourself some time. No, you're not, man, because I got to park there. Now I have to park behind you. So now you get to get out when I feel like letting you out. You don't get to fuck me in my own driveway. I get to fuck you in my own driveway. That's, if anyone, whatever nonsense. In the middle of that hateful tirade, apparently the movie had stopped playing. Kids are watching a news show. In the middle of me yelling, I just hear a voice in the back, just, Dad, permission to swear? And I was already pretty worked up, and I was curious, so I go, yeah, go ahead, buddy. And he just goes, what a fucking idiot.
Starbucks tomorrow, and you're like, can I get a pussy drink? And they were like, I think I know what you want. Hold on a second.
You can't be so hard on your kids, man. One of my friends got a teenage daughter. He too strict. I told him, I said, you gotta relax. That girl gonna do what she wanna do. You're not around anyway. Relax, man. He said, Kev, let me tell you something. Do what you wanna do with your kids. Don't tell me how to raise my kids. I said, you're right. I apologize. Now, this isn't funny, but it made me laugh, okay? He goes through his daughter's phone. He found a picture of little boy's thing on the phone, right? Now, it's my friend, okay? Tells me everything. It's not funny that he found a picture of a little boy's thing on the phone. It was funny the way he told me. Because he confides in me. He tells me everything. He comes on the tour bus. He's mad as shit. He said, Kevin, you're gonna believe this. I go through Tiffany's phone. I found a picture of a little boy's situation on the phone. What? What? I found a picture of the hot dog without the bun on the phone. What are you talking? A tabernacle. She had, it's a dick on the phone. She got a dick on the phone. I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating what he said. I said, so you telling me it's a dick on the phone? He said it's a dick on the phone. I said, so right now if I look at the phone, there's gonna be a dick in it. I said, well, what you gonna do? He said, what you think I'm gonna do? I'm about to go to the school. I said, well, why you going to the school? He said, why you think I'm about to find out whose dick it was? That's why I'm going to the school. I said, yo, I don't think that's a good look. I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should go to the school with a picture of a little boy's dick in the phone and try to match it up to other little boys. That's a little pedophile-ish, don't you think? Like you'll be in jail before 3 o'clock. He said, well, what would you do? By far the most difficult question I've ever been asked in my life. He said, what would you do? And I thought about it. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I found a picture of a little boy's thing on my daughter's phone. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably punch her in the throat. I really don't. I don't know. Because I got a son too, okay? Now if I find out that my son is pulling his thing out of school, when his mother's around, I'm gonna have an attitude. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff to say. Really? Really, dude? That's what you do in school? So you don't need pants because your dick is out. That's what you tell me. As soon as his mom leaves, hey, come here. What she say when she saw it? Give me some. Give me some. Yes! Hell yeah! Sometimes you gotta put it on the table, son. Let them see it. We small, but we big at the same time. Let them know. I'm a different type of parent. I am a different type of parent. I'm not gonna lie. Certain things I do differently. I don't like babysitting. I can admit that. I don't like watching my kids by myself. Too much pressure. No man does. No man in this room is a good babysitter. I can tell you how every man in this room watches kids. All we do, we sit on the couch and listen for shit. That's how we watch our kids. Kids do whatever they want when they with dad. Hey! Hey! I know y'all not in that toilet. Y'all better not be in that toilet. I ain't gonna do nothing. I definitely don't like watching other people's kids. Too much pressure. There's nothing worse than watching somebody else's baby and you give them their baby back in the condition that they didn't give their baby in. Like you ever have to explain something to somebody before they see their baby? Hey, real quick before you look at your baby, let me ask you something. Your baby had 2 eyes for sure, right? Okay, so it happened here. Long story short, gas went off in the kitchen, blew the back of your baby face out. It was crazy. My baby knew what to do. He got in the oven. Your baby just stood there. Y'all don't run in your house? Don't nobody run in your house? I had one little girl get hurt over my house. Scariest thing ever, man. One little girl, right? My daughter got real big bunk beds. I'm in the living room, I'm watching TV. Her and her friends, they in the room playing. Out of nowhere, I hear a loud bang. Bang! Little girl start crying. Ah! Ah! I come in the room, right? All the girls are standing around her. They all standing around her. One girl's on her knee, looking at her face to face. This would almost make me laugh. When I came in the room, the girl looked at me. She's like, But I can't laugh because I'm in daddy mode. I gotta figure out what happened. So I go to my daughter. It's her room. She's responsible. I said, Heaven, come here. Come here. It's your room. You're responsible. What happened? It's very hard to take a kid out of play mode. Like, when kids are playing, they don't know that shit just got real. Like, they don't know. So in her mind, it's still a game. I said, what happened? This is what my daughter did. She said, Ho! Daddy! You ever see kids do that shake shit?
cake in your face. Stop. What happened? This is the story my baby told me. She said, we got monsters, Daddy. There's a bunch of monsters in here. The prince came out, told us to get in the castle. The castle was at the top of the bunk bed. When we got up there, it was too many people in the castle. So, somebody had to go. We took a vote and she lost. I kicked her off. Wait, what? What? I kicked her off, Dad. It could have been anybody. My baby made an executive decision. I said, all right. She had to go. I get it. I understand. Another fear of mine. My biggest fear is getting knocked out in front of my babies. That's a fear, man. As a dad, what do you do? What do you do when your kids come get you? Dad, they messing with me. Who? Them. As a dad, you gotta go whip whoever them ass is. That's your job as a dad. What do you do when you go down there and get your ass whipped? What do you say? What do you say to your kids? Dad, they messing with me. Who? Them. Stay right here. Hey, motherfucker. Come on, come on. Let's go. These men are real. Let's go. Hurry up. Get in the car. Was that a kid? Was that a kid? When we get home, I'm whipping your ass for putting me in that situation. I had nothing to do with that. I woke up this morning as a Christian. You don't do that to me. It's a different ball game. See me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I'm not that guy. I'm not a fighter, man. I'm not. I won't act like I am. I won't. Seen too many bad things happen. I saw my dad get knocked out one time. I was 13, traumatized me. This guy hit my dad twice in the same spot. Quick as hell. Quickest 2 punches I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like it. Bop, bop. Hit my dad so fast, in the middle of the fight, my dad stopped fighting and asked me what happened. In the middle of the fight. In the middle of the fight, like, bop, bop, shit, hey, Kevin, hey, he just hit me twice. Yes, yes he did. Are you sure it was him? It's only y'all two out here, Dad. Ain't nobody else out here with y'all. So you telling me he that fast? They not jumping me? Ain't nobody jumping me? No, ain't nobody jumping you. It's just him. Well, he must be an octopus because I saw a lot of stuff go up on my face. Really? Really, Dad? An octopus? That's what you just fought? A human octopus? Really? When my dad called another grown-ass man an octopus, that was the day that he stopped being my dad. I lost all respect. He didn't understand that, though. He's still trying to discipline me around the house. Kevin! Hey! Didn't I tell you get the trash out? Get up! Get the trash out if I crack your damn face. Shut up. Shut up! You get the trash out if I get Steve to come over here and put his damn hands on you again. Oh! Oh! Oh, you gonna get Steve, huh? You are something else. You know that? You are something else. Give me the trash. I'll take trash out. Give me the trash. He didn't want to see Steve again. Steve beat the shit out of my dad.
Captain State, 10 years ago, they invaded our world. They took our freedom. Now we take it back. I will fight back! We can get back to the way that things used to be. Captain State, rated PG-13.
Hello everyone, welcome to the 5th episode of Critical Role. Before we start and get into the videos for our initial intro,
anything unpleasant that we happen to find in there in the meantime.
Hello and good evening, everyone.
Oh man, Billy's gonna come
I say-
back to fighting ass later. Because he is still conscious.
So wait,
No,
Frog's
he can't hear, he's not conscious, he is currently
Frog is close. We still need to get out of the way of these 30 people.
We still need to hide.
Let's at least follow the pathfinder place where we can hide and just
Around a corner or something. Can we stealth kind of further down?
You can try to. You currently are carrying 2 large Solstone statues with you. So It's definitely possible, but you're gonna have to come up with a creative way of doing so.
Gronk had the rug, didn't
Yes.
And you know your deeds as of late might upset my wrist.
All the Durgar now looking over their shoulders back towards the king and kind of watching this transpire between the
All of you lay down your arms!
You got 32. You guys moving in? Everyone else staying in the back hallway? You got transpire between the
All of you lay down your arms!
You got 32. You guys moving in? Everyone else? Staying in the back hallway?
No, I'm not moving.
Okay, back hallway, which is visibly stiffening. And he glanced.
You're on top of me. I'm holding you.
Jesus. They're still on the altar that's raised above. You've got a problem down there, to be fair. Where we at? You've got the witch problem.
What do you got there, Ace? Quick. Arrows and fireball spells. He, now growing in physical form on top of already the musculature he acquired from that potion, is going to make his 3 attacks against whatever is nearby. That's actually going to be, actually it's going to be 2 strikes against you, Scanlan, since you just try something instead of his head and you run against him. That is a 15, a 24, is a 20 that also hits. All 3 hits.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Aye. Oof, alright. So the first strike hits you for 21 points of slashing damage. The next one hits you for 23 points of slashing damage.
No, you are.
No longer alive? Are you out?
Scanlan falls unconscious on the ground from the 2 strikes of the king. The 3rd strike back towards Kima, who's currently seizing from the effect of the spell. She's restrained, so he has advantage.
But she's got the basilic blood in her eyes.
Through the process. Why?
Yes, of course. You're the expert.
To undoing creature turned to stone.
That's what I'm doing.
Knowledge does not seem to
Hands
have an
down.
effect.
Wait, what you trying to do?
Lady Kima takes
Nothing. Certainly not piss off the
Get the lantern out.
Works well. That brings us to
Be lit.
Vex, you're up.
Oh, that's me. Every time.
Bring 5 jugs of wine, just in case I fuck up.
I'm gonna
Kill something.
Hail of air, no, yeah. Hail of Thorns at level 3.
Okay, at who?
At the Queen and the Illithid.
Okay.
So should have transferred my bonus action over to, but that's okay. That gives me, I should have done this before. I'm an asshole, I'm sorry.
What about it?
Okay, so that gives me at level 3, 2d10.
Additional damage to the arrow.
Yes.
It explodes around.
Yes.
Alright, so fire the arrow. So you, as your bonus action, you go and you grab one of the arrows out from the back. As you pull it back, you can see a bunch of these little thorns begin to grow and sprout from the actual shaft of the arrow. You release it, and as it does, it arcs across.
Yes, natural 20.
Natural! Against the queen. Alright, go ahead and roll the damage for the arrow and the damage for the spell. And all that doubles.
Oh, awesome. And we got all that doubles is gold.
Arrows.
6, no. D8 plus 7 is 30. Yeah, all of it doubles.
The bonus at the end doesn't double, just reductions.
Oh, so 36.
36 points.
Plus cost of a 7? Or is that
it explodes.
Yes.
Right? And
Yeah.
it does the dice damage, the 2d10.
To everything within 5 feet.
Alright, so the Mind Flayer and Graw.
My crafting is short.
Oh, right, yeah. I should have hit the Mind Flayer with that. No, it was still a hit grab. Okay. They have to
I can I'll probably go, yeah. Next couple days, how about tomorrow?
Alright, cool. Alright, second arrow you can fire now if you want to.
I'm gonna fire from my flaming bow. I go one shot on that left.
Okay.
At her again.
Alright.
Yes. And that's a 28.
That is.
Yeah. And that's 9 plus 10. What's my 10? That's 2. 11.
Alright. You see like flames begin to burn up along the side of her robe, and she's looking really flustered and frustrated at this point. Alright, that brings us to Kima's turn now. She's made already stuff. Kima currently is fighting this, is going to go ahead and release all of her attacks against the King. Morgul is right in front of her. She has disadvantage over her. Unfortunately, she's restrained. She's going to make 2 attacks against him using Divine Spite, expending 3rd level spells. That's 3d8 extra damage to each strike. So the first one hits. Both hit.
No.
Alright. She's going to do it twice. That's going to be 6d8 additional damage. Woo! Okay, so as Kima rears back, her first strike comes down and hits overhead into King Morgul's armor. As it does, it hits. The blade only goes about a few inches in, but then all of a sudden the blade heats up white hot and actually buries itself an additional 6 inches into his shoulder. He screams out in pain, reaches up and grabs the blade, and as he does it, his hand actually burns the process. She pulls the blade out, around, and swings it down again, sinking another 8 inches into the side of his torso, this time with a giant arc of white divine light. Into the side. He looks like he's starting to bleed out from 2 of the wounds really heavily. The king is looking a little rough. That ends Kima's turn. Kima's going to try and make a saving throw. Kima pulls the blade out.
Oh no!
And turns to stone herself. So
He's still at like really high health too, the king.
what? The king's looking a little rough.
Okay, good.
He's
Stone. All right.
You never know. He might just start doing a headstand.
The queen's turn.
Oh no.
The queen looks over at Grog in front of her. Kind of frustratingly uses a bulk of sorcery points. Puts her hand up towards him as he's pulling his axe back angrily. He fails to save, and he puts his axe back down and looks towards the rest of the group.
Oh no! Not again!
I call her glazed over.
No, no, no.
So
He's turned to stone too? No, he's under her control.
So that was her sorcerer points, her quick action. She then says, "Oh, we're not gonna die this day alone, and I won't die. My love, I'm sorry, but there's much more work to be done." Oh, and she raises her hand up, and you see this buildup of green arcane energy at her hand. She turns it towards the rest of the group, faces it up towards the ceiling, and releases this pulse of arcane green, ill-looking energy that blasts into the stone ceiling. As it does, the stone itself disintegrates in a large chunk.
Oh no.
And a glowing mass of seeping hot molten magma begins to pour.
Oh shit!
So, it's now coming from right here.
Oh my god.
So now, magma is pouring onto the throne room from above. The giant fall that is on top of the fortress is now peering into the room. That brings us to Tiberius, who is stone. Chlorota currently looks around and...
Hold on. Am I conscious in stone form?
No, you are a slate. You are blue screen. You are Grog after the intellect devour. Okay.
Pike, it's all on you, dude.
Do you have water?
Chlorota
If you can create it, I can control it.
steps back and grabs Lady Kima dragging her back through the doorway.
Oh god, we gotta get out. That's a retreat.
Like cool and freeze lava.
Pulling her down towards the stairway. That brings us to
Trinket.
Keyleth.
It's me.
Kill it.
We gotta get out of here. Wall.
Get us out of here.
Like an umbrella.
Okay. I come out of
Scorpion form.
Yes, thank you.
Bonus or it's free action.
Isn't there a dead basilisk right in front of us right now?
There is a body of dead basilisk on the ground, yes.
I'm gonna take wind wall. I cast wind wall and try and like wrap it around the lava column and try and contain it within the wind wall, like cooling it down, like essentially making a tornado like vortex around the lava.
Okay, for the purposes of this, I want you to go ahead and make just a basic religion check.
Okay.
Well, no, not religion. You be nature. Just
Okay.
the purposes of my thought, I think a nature check would be an interesting way to see how this plays out.
18.
18? Okay, so as you bring this gust of cold wind swirling around, the column of magma begins to cool and darken as Trinket is like backing up against the wall and the magma is like starting to singe the edge of Trinket's nails. It cools to a dark black kind of rockish color and the magma fall ceases. But you can see parts of it breaking and beginning to break past that shell exterior. So you've slowed it.
This isn't gonna hold for long. Somebody rub some blood on Tiberius, quick! And let's get the hell out of here. I'm just holding this.
Holding it there. Okay. That brings us to Pike.
There's so much to do. I don't know if I should heal you, if I should rub blood on you, or if I should go try to remove the curse from Grog. See if you can get the curse out of Grog. Because if we gotta retreat, then if I can remove the thing off of him.
From your knowledge, no, it is an arcane effect. It is
That's
not a curse.
Okay, so Grog might be on his own for a little bit. Okay, so can I heal Scanlan and then also rub some basilisk blood on Tiberius?
From your previous experience, it's not the blood directly. The blood itself has to be distilled in. Just the ice damage, not the actual bullet. Won't do anything. So
just the ice damage.
Just the ice damage.
2.
2. Okay, so as you blast up, you can see as the magma's going to pour down again. You blast it, and you immediately spot cools into a rock and begins to slip again. You've maybe giving yourself a couple more seconds. That may be what you need. You don't know, but that's all you got on that.
Okay, my next shot, I'm just going to turn to the king and just shoot.
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
Pew pew.
I'm also going to spend a point for additional damage.
All right.
And I'm also taking sharpshooter for additional damage.
Okay.
That's 16.
16 versus armor class will not hit.
Wait.
Unfortunately.
Okay, no, I don't get that. Oh God, it's not Pathfinder. Ah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to spend my bonus action, take another shot.
Okay, so you're using your action surge?
Yeah.
Okay, so you surge. You now have 2 more attacks.
2 more shots.
Go for it.
Yes.
23. F you.
That hits.
That's 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Got it.
Taking another shot.
All right.
This shot's fire bonus damage.
Okay.
And I'm also going to spend another grit point to maybe do a little more damage.
Okay.
Yeah. Grit.
28 to hit.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. With the extra grip point, you do 2 dice, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I get a bonus. I just have to find one. Oh, there. That's 17 points of damage plus 1 point of fire damage.
Nice. Okay, so the first shot fires, just ricochets off his armor and streaks across the room. You get his attention though, and he looks back at you with this kind of wild look in his eyes. The muscles like tensing. You can see the armor actually bending and twisting against his physical form underneath. However, the next shot blasts off side of his jaw.
Oh!
There's actually a giant gap now in his flesh. As he looks back at you, can see his teeth. And as he
Once around.
once around, you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, well never mind. So take it on the first.
Hell yeah.
All right, so the first strike comes at you with a that'll be 19 points of damage,
Okay.
reduced to 9.
Okay.
Second strike hits you for a total of 15 points of damage, so 24 total.
Okay. Okay.
Could be worse.
And that's Grog's go. That brings us to Scanlan.
Really hurts, Grog. With my knowledge of the arcane arts, do I have any knowledge that using my dispel magic spell would work on Grog?
possibility. You know the spell that's been cast on him. You use it. There is a chance, but it has to be a contested roll.
You could roll a 20.
So
You could roll a 20.
You could roll a 20.
Does it take my move to just
No,
stand
special
up?
case it does. Unfortunately. So it's your call.
Instead of moving across But I don't have to be standing to cast a spell.
No, but I would say it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna give.
Alright, I'll stand up.
All right.
You have a bonus action? I do have a bonus
Get back
action,
up.
so no movement. I don't know what that means here.
What are you doing?
And I will. Jesus. Better for me to get out of there. Get the king. The king.
To kill him, he's on his last legs,
Yeah.
probably.
Looking pretty rough.
Yeah, but Keyleth is right behind him. Stab him.
You can attack with your sword.
I am a tiny, tiny boy.
Do
who
it
can only
anyway.
do.
He's at his last legs.
It's a
I
nose.
can't hear crowd. This is gonna be epic, Scam. I
What do
will
you got?
say that. I can't.
Show it quick.
I swing my singing dawn blade at him.
All right.
I have a dawn blade.
Alrighty.
It's a dawn.
Donger blade.
Do it.
Really big advantage. So, go ahead and roll for attack. D20.
A natural 20.
He said he could roll a 20. We called it. Who called it? We called it.
So, you roll the dice.
That's amazing.
Gone. He's gone. So that's 8.
You rolled an 8. Times 2 is 16, plus whatever the bonus damage is for the sword.
Critical hit. 7.
Okay.
Plus
So,
the dawn blade gets
16.
another bonus attack at disadvantage.
It does. So, you strike with the critical hit, doing, let's see, it's a 16 plus 7, 23 points of damage. Go ahead and roll for a second attack.
I've never hit anyone with a sword before. 5.
Can I give him a War God's Blessing and give him a plus 10?
You can.
Alright, plus 10. So 15.
Oh, what's your total? You rolled a 5 plus.
5 plus 10. I know, what am I adding? I've never used a sword before.
Efficiency modifier. So it's 5 to that, which is 10. Makes it 20, which hits. Roll damage on the Ah!
Boom.
Kill him.
6.
6 points of damage, or 6 on that, plus your strength, which is 1, 7, plus the dawn blade, which is, that's 8. So that's 8 damage on top of the 23. How do you want to do this?
As I draw back the blade, I say, "Oh, you should have stood on your head," and I lop it off.
So, as you say that, you begin pushing Kima.
Oh, wait, no. Wait, didn't Clarota take
Clarota pulls Kima out of the room.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, that's fine. Let's just get out. I go ahead and on our way out, I cast Create Water, and I kind of just use my air ability and make a mist to try and, like, mist the lava that's coming towards us.
Okay, you do, but the magma is so intense and there's still so much of the room now that you get a localized area that the rest of it just kind of flows around and needs to fill the space. Alright, so, all of you guys make a dexterity check to try and get down quickly. Go for it.
Another one?
Yes, everyone makes one.
Natural 20.
Woo!
Natural
2.
Jesus Christ.
What? Shut up.
I rolled a 19.
Go get another.
20.
I rolled a 19.
7. 4.
By the way,
Did I get to roll twice?
Because, yes.
Oh wait, am I still streaming?